Part 4. The max level boss is too cruel. Author, Fire Otter. Chapter 31. Chapter 31 I am quite innocent. In the Su family, after Feng Ling left, Feng Shuang thought she was considerate and came to comfort Su Ming. Uncle, don't be angry. After all, my sister's money is not her own. Although she has lost a little money now, at least the shares are under control, we have it in our own hands. For the Su family, this is a good thing, isn't it? I believe that your aunt and grandparents will support you. You know nothing, Su Ming yelled at Feng Shuang for the first time. He looked at his parents and wife with disappointment. This is the result you want, are you satisfied? Do you know what Feng Ling's divestment means? She withdrew as soon as she withdrew, and she lost 500 million. Why don't she come back after working for a few more months? What are you doing with Shuang? Isn't she just for us? Tian Hui protected Feng Shuang in her arms. Su Ming didn't know why he was crazy. He treated a murderer like his own daughter. They were both so sensible, but he just couldn't see it. Su Mingqi smiled. 500 million? You are so kind to a woman. The market value that Feng Ling has brought to the Su family over the years is only worth 500 million? A lot of the Su group's business is directed at Feng Ling. Without Feng Ling, the Su family would be nothing. Su Ming did not tell the Su family that Feng Ling's identity was very secret. If she revealed even the slightest bit, she would be killed. So Su Ming could only hold in his anger and had nowhere to vent his anger. Uncle, don't be angry. Although my sister has withdrawn her capital, I should have half of the 500 million. When my sister withdraws her capital, I will ask her to give you my share. Don't call me uncle. I, Su Ming, only have one niece, Feng Ling. Su Ming looked at Feng Shuang's eyes that were born to smile, and felt disgusted. Feng Tian and his wife must have been deceived by these eyes in the first place. The kid who loves to laugh gets candy. So, they would rather send a child who has poor grades, doesn't like to laugh, but doesn't stab their heart with a knife to jail than send a child they think is a good child. Feng Shuang may not know that before they died, the couple once said that they did not want to ruin the rest of Feng Shuang's life. Su Ming took a deep breath and said, Feng Ling's 500 million is hers from beginning to end. If you want to swallow her money, you'd better go to sleep. You can have everything in your dreams. Su Ming threw away his hands and left. The most important thing now is how to appease Su's shareholders. When Su started his business from scratch, most of the shareholders came with Feng Ling. Feng Ling's own? No. Impossible, Su Ming must be lying to her. Feng Ling is just lying. Why would Su Ming help her hide the truth? That 500 million yuan is clearly the inheritance left to them by their parents. Feng Shuang's eyes flashed with madness. She must get these inheritances back, she must. You can go, teacher yet. On summer nights, the trees are full of noisy cicadas chirping, one after another, without any regularity. Feng Ling stood under the shade of a tree, the summer night wind blowing her black hair on her delicate cheeks. It's quite beautiful. If you ignore her, it will make people die. Teacher, yeah, I am quite innocent. I have not done anything murderous or illegal. Even if you look at me, you won't be able to find a single in your eyes. Ahem. When Wen Xiao, who was following behind, heard this sentence, for some reason, the image of Ye Qinghan staring out came into his mind. It's a bit exciting. Ye Qinghan glanced at him coolly, then looked at Feng Ling helplessly. I didn't mean that. End of this chapter. The max level boss is too cruel. Author, Fire Otter. Chapter 32. Chapter 32 Letting Go Again. Feng Ling nodded. Okay, teacher yet. Ye Qinghan. Little girl, you don't have to say something against your will with such a wronged expression. Come on for the joint entrance examination. He suddenly gained a little weight, and his hair, which was already messy in the wind, became even worse because of someone's restless little hands. Ye King Han looked at the little girl's dull expression and smiled happily. Let's go. Oh, okay. Wen Xiao held the briefcase and waved to Feng Ling. See you next time, see you next time. The roar of the sports car exploded in the night sky. Feng Ling smelled the smell of oil smoke remaining in the air, and a raging fire surged in her heart. One Wen Xiao and the other Ye Qing, they really answered that sentence, a nest of snakes and rats. She scratched her hair irritably and said angrily, it's messed up again. Really annoying. Feng Ling returned to the room, and as soon as she turned on her phone, a series of messages popped up, all of which were invitations to the glory battlefield. Feng Ling moved the mouse with an expressionless face, pressed it, and deleted it with one click. Boss, 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 why don't you fight? Feng Ling clicked the mouse and forgot about the team voice. Cannot be deleted. Very annoying. She lowered her head and replied politely, very busy. The next second, the phone vibrated. Feng Ling pressed the button and heard a loud bang. Juyu, you let us go again. The voices of 4 grown men made my eardrums hurt. Feng Ling silently moved the phone away a little, and then said, there was no record of the accident. Is this a reason? This is not. Ancestor, ancestor, please come online and ask you to start a war. Little ancestor, you promised to do the PK in the Dark Night Forest tonight. There are still 2 minutes left. If you don't come, you will only see our remains tomorrow. Ancestor, the wind on the roof is so strong, I'm so scared. Feng Ling's face turned dark. Listening to the background music of singing and dancing, she ruthlessly exposed them. You are in a bar. 4 people, children nowadays are not easy to deceive. No one spoke. Feng Ling continued, I had after drinking. I knew I was guilty, so I jumped off the building to apologize. Don't worry, I will have someone help you write the report as nice as possible. 4 people, why do they feel that the picture is different from what they expected? Hearing what my little ancestor meant, why do you want them to die so much? This idea has not yet been confirmed, and the soft and waxy voice came in the next second. Several people just joined me. 4 people. Feng Ling, I refused. After a pause, she added, but since you are all going to sacrifice your life for love, I think I can consider it. Just listen to the ruthless, with no intention of holding back at all. At this time, the 4 of them realized that something was wrong. It was clearly the little ancestor who had betrayed them. Why did it sound like the 4 of them had joined forces to abandon the little ancestor? Ancestors, listen to us, this is not the case. The next second, Feng Ying's WeChat prompts for payment information. Dead man's box, red envelope. Little ancestor, we were wrong. Smart Erxiu, red envelope. Little ancestor, please accept it, we drank too much, smile JPG. The Father of God, red envelope. The 9 months are mighty and the 9 months are high, the 9 moons are the great God, invincible in the world. Hunter, red envelope. If you accept my money, I will be yours. Feng Ling nodded with satisfaction and accepted them one by one. When she received the last one, she stopped, and then said 2 words in disgust, reject. End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The max level boss is too cruel. Author, Fire Otter. Chapter 33. Chapter 33. This is probably the happiness of rich people. In the bar, a man with messy hair who didn't seem to have taken care of it looked like he was about to cry. Boss, why didn't she accept my red envelope? The 3 of them looked at him silently, full of sympathy. This idiot is still not aware that he is disliked by the boss. Online. Feng Ling said 2 words, and the 4 of them became energetic again. They knew that the boss would never abandon them. Ying ying ying. 4 people found PK at that time. Feng Ling was busy writing data analysis for a group of young old men at the research institute. She agreed immediately without asking who the other person was. It wasn't until I got to the Dark Knight Forest that I discovered that the other person was currently number 1 on the glory list, Wu Yan. Juyu, number 1 on the glory list, Looking at the number of onlookers on the world screen, Feng Ling smiled brightly. Juyu, have you placed a bet, falling in the eyes of money, make money from me, smile JPG smile JPG smile JPG. In the bar, 4 men were holding mobile phones, shivering in the midst of the feasting, singing, and dancing. According to their research on the boss's emotions are very subtle and difficult for ordinary people to detect. However, after following the boss for so long, by the time the boss sends a smiling emoticon, it means they are gone. Dead man's box, boss, don't be angry, here's the thing, this Win looks down on you, how can a girl get the first place on the glory list? Then we definitely disagreed, so we made a declaration of war with him. Boss, you all know what happened next. Smart Urxiu, yes, we didn't tell you in advance because we were afraid you would be angry. Although I am quite angry now. Shenren's father, don't worry, boss, the 4 of us have been following you for so long, how could we possibly cheat you, we will split the profit this time 30/70ths. Yes, 3 to 7, you 3 and we 7. You bastard, you want to die. In the bar, the little was slapped on the back of the head. What's wrong? The little Zamao's eyes were filled with confusion, and there was a hint of neediness in his confusion. The 3 of them shook their heads together, feeling that the reason why the 4 of them were despised by the boss for their average IQ was because they were little bastards. Dead man's box, boss, the idiot has been exercising too much recently, his hands are disabled, and he has trouble typing. What he means is that we are 3 and you are 7. Feng Ling raised her eyebrows, that's pretty much it? She moved her finger, and Juyu's profile picture on the interface showed that she was offline. Before the 4 of them could realize what was going on, the Alipay account of Dead Man's Box prompted a credit of 1 billion. Juyu, gambling money. The 4 grown men wiped their eyes and made sure that they had seen it correctly. A whole billion. The boss's family needs so much money, why are they still living like beggars? The second-rate guy blinked and asked as he didn't understand. They always thought that their eldest son came to this event because his family was poor. After all, 50,000 yuan is already a large amount of money for an ordinary family, but Feng Ling. Shenren's father pursed his lips with a complicated psychology, is this probably the happiness of rich people? The bosses are just the bosses, and their brain circuits are different from theirs. System prompt, the powerful Juya God has bet 1 billion on his team. The mighty and powerful team of Juya God bet 1 billion. In world news, a female robotic voice read the sentences that made the listener cry without any emotion. 1 billion, wouldn't it be nice to just sit at home and eat nothing? What are you going to bet on? End of this chapter. The max level boss is too cruel. Author, Fire Otter. Chapter 34. Chapter 34 Nouveau riche behavior. In a high-end villa somewhere in the capital, Zhang Chenzi watched the screams and screams on the world screen with a trace of disdain in his eyes. Really, the behavior of the nouveau riche. Brother Chen, is there a kid from a wealthy family across from you? Yeah, ordinary people wouldn't spend 1 billion in the game at once, right? It's still a game that you know you will lose. This is definitely something that only a second-generation ancestor who is not short of money can do. Zhang Chenzi shook his head, as far as I know, there is no such person in the capital. Don't worry about them, they are a bunch of little shrimps with a little money, nothing worth worrying about. When the time comes to lose and the 1 billion is wasted, those people opposite will naturally know how to behave. Zhang Chenzi controlled his character and led the team towards the Dark Knight Forest. Dark Knight Forest is the dungeon with the highest level requirement after the new server is opened. Currently, no team has successfully cleared the Dark Knight Forest dungeon. The ultimate reason is that the boss in the dungeon is a pangolin with resurrection armor and a health buff. The level requirement is 80, Feng Ling looked at the level limit of the dungeon map and fell into deep silence. Juyu, when you accepted the challenge, didn't you consider the issue of level? She is now level 78, which is 2 full levels away from level 80, but anyone who plays the game knows that the higher the level, the more experience is required. The internal news was quite silent, but a second-rate boss sent her a sentence, "We thought we were 80, and you should be there too, boss." But they forgot that Feng Ling is a master who can play with everything, which means that the character levels she holds are quite good, but the upgrade time is longer than them. The most important thing is that the highest level 1 Feng Ling has now is a little nanny. It's quite exciting. Feng Ling rubbed his eyebrows and felt a tingling sensation. On the world screen, just as everyone was gearing up to watch this grand gamble, Juyu suddenly said something. "Juyu, you guys go ahead and I'll level up and come back." After saying that, Juyu disappeared from everyone's eyes. The account shows that Juyu is in the game and is leveling up. Everyone. Zhang Chenzi. Damn, the moon is playing tricks on us. Don't worry about them, they're just little people. Zhang Chenzi said and sent a line of text. If she hasn't come after we clear the level, you will automatically admit defeat. He doesn't have that much time to play games with a few little kids. Their team competes in national level esports competitions. By agreeing to the bet, they have already lowered their status. The boss waved his hand, "No problem. 3 other people, someone come and drag this idiot away." Zhang Chenzi's team is a world-famous star team. The people who come here are not only those who come to watch because of the bet, but also because of the name of Team Wuji. In the few appearances of Wuji team, all the members are expected to be stars in the entertainment industry and have attracted a lot of fans. Among them, the captain Zhang Chenzi broke the tradition of not having handsome men in esports competitions. You can imagine how popular they are. Meow meow demon, oh my god, I actually saw my husband playing games here, the pinnacle of life, nymphage page. Want to drink milk tea, although it is a PK, but they can play against Cheng Cheng, oh my god, they are so happy. The bad old man, I bet a pack of spicy strips that Team Wuji will win. In the eyes of everyone, there is simply no comparison between a rookie team challenging the Wuji team, and the outcome is already doomed. End of this chapter. The max level boss is too cruel. Author, Fire Otter. Chapter 35. Chapter 35. Listen, is this human language? Zhang Chenzi plays the role of an assassin. Except for a wet nurse, the rest of the team are high-attack characters. This is also the reason why Team Wuji has gained a reputation. High-output attacks allow Team Wuji to disrupt the opponent's strategic deployment as quickly as possible. At the same time, such distribution is also the fastest strategy for clearing the dungeon. Feng Ling was hanging on the side to level up, with a bottle of Coke in hand, listening to the kids in the team having sex. Dead man's box, ouch. What should I do? This promise team looks super strong. Shenren's father, according to my analysis, our winning rate in this PK is 0.01%. Smart Urxiu, I'm already asking my mother to burn incense. Aren't you piking because you want the boss to torture us? Everyone, shut up, you are the only one who has a mouth. Feng Ling twitched fiercely as she watched these 4 unpromising children trying to boost the ambitions of others and destroy her own prestige. She was wondering whether agreeing to form a team with them was the right decision. After a long time, the boss slowly raised his hand and typed a few keys. Juyu, don't panic, I'm here. Isn't he just a star team captain? She's not a professional esports player, so she can lead them. The team was silent for a few seconds, and then let out a burst of howling. Hey, I'm so touched. Don't worry, boss, the box will be packed well. Don't worry, I will give you a super kick. How can the descendants of Ikea be afraid of those idiots? To be honest, they are all younger brothers. The second-rate boss took a look at the chat history, and then asked cautiously, "Boss, isn't she really trying to comfort us?" Everyone, shut up, if you don't speak, no one will treat you as a mute. Fenling's face was full of dark lines. It's not easy to be a nanny in this era. Children's psychological quality is not good, so she needs to be encouraged by her as a nanny. Juyu, the night pangolin is famous for its high defense. Wuji team's output is indeed high, but it also takes some effort to face the night pangolin. Don't forget, output type characters lose energy very quickly regardless of whether they use magic or physical attacks, and their team only has one wet nurse. Dead man's box, that makes sense, boss, how should we fight? Juyu, choose the one with the strongest output among your existing characters. The stronger, the better. Don't worry about insufficient energy. The boss was a little confused. Isn't that the same as the Wuji team? What if there is not enough energy? Juyu, don't worry, your mother won't let you have nothing to eat. Just feel free to protect your mother. Everyone, listen, is this human language? Oh, the boss is not a human being. She is a fairy who comes down to earth to give these mortals stimulation and food. Just as Fenling predicted, the Wuji team gave the night pangolin time to recover its blood because the wet nurse could not support the energy consumption of the entire team when the night pangolin was red at the end. In the blink of an eye, the last blood bar of the night pangolin, which originally had only a trace of blood, recovered by more than half. Zhang Chenzi was vomiting blood. He had calculated everything, but he failed to calculate that the pangolin's health would be restored in the dark night because the nanny could not hold the overall situation. The nanny of Team Wuji was about to cry, "Captain, I'm sorry, It's useless to say so much now. Everyone adjusts tactics and activates Plan B. Xiao He, please quickly recover your physical strength." Zhang Chenzi felt agitated. They all said that the Dark Night Forest was the most difficult dungeon before level 100. It was indeed so. In this case, there is only. Zhang Chenzi's eyes flashed with a hint of cruelty. End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The max level boss is too cruel. Author, Fire Otter. Chapter 36. Chapter 36, Being a Gentle and Considerate Wet Nurse. Holy shit, it's the soul-eating blood blade, Isla's special move, the soul-eating blood blade. Smart Erxio suddenly jumped up from the sofa. In the Dark Night Forest, Wen controlled the assassin to get into the bottom of the night pangolin, which was the weakest defense point of the night pangolin. The blood blade was launched, red light suddenly appeared, and the blood blade covered with the strongest attack bonus was mercilessly pierced into the belly of the night pangolin. In just one move, more than half of the health bar was lost. During the attack of the soul-eating blood blade, Team Wuji's nanny recovered her physical strength. Fenling said secretly, "It's over." At the same moment, the screen prompted that the character in Fenling's hand had been promoted to level 80. System prompt, Glory Battlefield. Wuji team passed the Dark Night Forest dungeon, time, 8 minutes and 9 seconds. At the same time, it is also the only team that has cleared the Dark Night Forest instance. The world's screens are in shock. Not to mention the opening of new servers, it is not easy to train a character to level 80. Just say that these 8 minutes and 9 seconds are unprecedented in high-level dungeons. The current minimum pass time for the level 70 Moon Knight Fairy dungeon is 8 minutes and 15 seconds. Team Wuji has made progress again. People who bet on the Wuji team are having a great time. No one thinks that a small team that has only been formed for less than a month will break the record of the Wuji team. Zhang Chenzi himself thinks so. He threw down the mouse and said calmly, I'm going to train. Just keep an eye on me. The outcome is already determined anyway, isn't it? Fenling changed the computer to play. The computer screen is large, which can better feed the baby. After all, her group of children is not easy to worry about. Juyu, gone. The team assignments were exactly the same. After Zhang Chenzi took one look at them, he became even more convinced that this was just a team that was just a bad guy. He left without any regrets. Little young Master Liang, what's going on with this pheasant team? Should we also copy other people's team settings? Marry me without eyes, come on, just copy it, it won't be as good as our young Master Wu eyes anyway. There is no ticket, ha ha ha, is this the legendary saying that there is no harm without comparison? Exciting. Damn, these dogs are showing off to us. Where, I'm going to hit them with bricks to death. Take me 1+1. Calm down. Fenling felt very tired. They were indeed a group of children who had not been baptized by society. She controlled the character, let's go. Box, you open the way in front. She is a wet nurse, and a nurse can open the way unless she is out of her mind. But to be honest, with the intelligence of these children, she was quite scared to let them open the way. Sure enough, Fenling's fear came true. The dark night forest is full of traps. Every time you enter, the traps will change, leaving no trace behind. The dead man's box was probably just too lucky. He stepped on a mine within 5 seconds of entering it. After a few bombardments, everyone lost half of their health bars. Fenling was the worst, missing the last 5% of his health bars. Fenling, national education says that violence against children is not allowed. But what should I do if she seems to be violent now? Dead man, get back here. Fenling gritted her teeth and tried her best to be a gentle and considerate nanny. Dead man's box. How to break it if you are disliked? Hey, he didn't mean it, really. The onlookers held watermelons and watched silently as the human shields in the team retreated timidly. They were about to laugh, but stopped laughing the next second. Because, the little nanny in the team used some skills to restore all the health bars of the team to full. End of this chapter. The max level boss is too cruel. Author, Fire Otter. Chapter 37. Chapter 37. With all due respect, all those sitting here are sons. As if everything that just happened was an illusion, the largest minefield in the entire Dark Night Forest exploded into loneliness. Not only did no one die, but the health bar did not change at all. Damn, what a pervert. On the world screen, someone uttered a curse word. Captain, that nanny seems to be not simple, said Healy from within the Wiji team. He is also a support player. He knows best when his support skills are maximized. As long as he doesn't die, he is the most annoying existence in the team. Okay, why don't we just restore some blood? I'm nervous about you. Can't you do the same when your physical strength is full? His teammates comforted him. Zhang Chenzi also didn't take it seriously. No matter how powerful a level 80 support is, it can't compare to a full level support, so don't be too nervous. No matter how powerful the opponent's support is, it can only be tied with Healy at best. In a team, no matter how powerful the support is, it cannot carry the entire rhythm. Don't worry, sons, follow your mother's rhythm, she will take you flying on the other side, a certain boss said to his sons quite freely. 4 sons, good mom. So, on the world platform, people saw the following scene. Hunter followed the nanny and walked in the front row, swaying left and right with a pace that no one would recognize. When encountering danger, the nanny will hide behind the human shield, and then throw out the bonus skills desperately. It's as if he doesn't worry about his physical strength at all. Damn it, does this nanny know how to play? If you lose it like this, your physical strength will be gone even before you encounter the night pangolin. A pheasant is a pheasant from the sound of her voice. This nanny is a woman. He. What kind of game is a woman here to play? Women can't play games. The corners of Fen Ling's lips raised, revealing a dangerous arc. Straight men, in the face of death, even if your sister is a woman, you can only kneel down and call mother. World his father, mom. World dead man's box, damn. World smart Urxia mama, help, this spider is bullying people. Fen Ling calmly threw a skill, fished the person back from the spider pile, and then put on a protective shield and a blood regeneration bonus, and continued to annoy people on the world screen. With all due respect, all those sitting here are sons. Everyone, damn. It has been understood. However, just when everyone was gearing up to say that the nanny was unable to attack, Fen Ling had already killed 20 people, ranking second in the team in terms of kills, and the first was the assassin. In Fen Ling's words, if you can't get the first place in assassin's kills, then stop being around and go back to eating your old age. Just when everyone was about to change their direction and connotation, Fen Ling only care about the number of people and ignore the overall situation. The little nanny used 3 consecutive skills: attack bonus, defense bonus, and speed bonus. Just when everyone felt tired and wanted to grab your physical strength and complain about the boss, they looked at the little nanny's physical strength and thought, why is it still at 80%? Even before the night pangolin was shot, everyone felt that their little hearts were faintly broken. With their eyes open, they seemed to see the nurse smiling and saying to them, "Be good, son." Everyone. Night pangolin, boss, the second-rate guy, was a little excited. Fen Ling glanced at the clock at hand. 3 minutes had passed. She had just wasted some time arguing with her newly adopted sons. The girl was a little dissatisfied and said, "Quickly resolve it." End of this chapter. The max level boss is too cruel. Author, Fire Otter. Chapter 38. Chapter 38. A bug that is allowed to exist. Yes. With Fen Ling's encouragement, the 4 sons are now so enthusiastic that they almost chased and beat the night pangolin. The human shield blocks attacks, the assassin attacks, the mage has a large rear row, and the shooter assists the assassin in attacking. As for the little wet nurse, she sits quietly on the side and loses all kinds of bonuses quietly over the years. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and purple, a colorful dragon, very beautiful. I don't know who said, why do I feel that the method of this Juya milkman is so similar to the previous one? He appeared once in the World Championship and then disappeared. How could he lower his worth to play in a small game like this that just launched for us to watch? There is a rumor in the esports circle that in the nanny world, a player named Quietly signed up to participate in the World Championships. Using an unrivaled and world-famous milking technique, he successfully pushed a team that no one expected to reach the peak of glory and won the gold medal in the world competition that year. To this day, rumors of Dimples are still circulating throughout the esports circle. At least for now, there is no wet nurse whose skills can match her. What's more, a grassroots team with no reputation at all. This question was quickly buried in thousands of messages and no one asked about it anymore. Over there, Fen Ling and her 4 stupid sons have beaten the last health bar of the boss, and the same situation as that of the Wiji team occurred. The boss has red blood. Fen Ling moved the mouse, her pupils shrank, and her jade-like fingers gently moved the keys on the keyboard. On the screen, everyone saw the nanny raising her scepter and waving it gently. In the bar, the eyes of the 4 people operating the bar lit up. The maximum bonus buff? Damn it, isn't this nanny invited by them to be a professional esports player? This bonus, this operation, this cannot be an ordinary player. Brother Chang, if this continues, they will overtake us. The current time is 5 minutes and 40 seconds, and there are still more than 2 minutes left. However, the red-blooded boss has not released his final move. Zhang Chenzi put down the mouse, walked over and stared at the nanny on the screen. This person. We lost, Zhang Chenzi said calmly. What? We lost, Juyu. She has the ability to suppress the boss's skills. The night pangolin is not letting go, but its skills are frozen. That Juyu is a bug in this game, a bug that is allowed to exist. After finishing his words, the last trace of the night pangolin's health bar on the screen disappeared, for a total of 5 minutes and 59 seconds. The team led by Feng Ling was completely victorious. Zhang Chenzi looked at the screen with a complicated expression and said in a deep voice, "Find her. Such talents are rare and the Zhang family must recruit them. If they cannot recruit them, then there is only." Zhang Chenzi squinted his eyes, so he could only wipe it out. The Zhang family does not allow any threat that can surpass the Zhang family to wander outside. At the bar, the four sons stared blankly at a capital letter winner on the screen. Win? Did they win? They actually won against a star team. Ah, boss, have you seen it? We are making a difference. I'm so touched, we actually won. Does this mean we can also play esports competitions? Excite oi page. Feng Ling looked at the news in the team and couldn't bear to hurt them, but after thinking about it, she still typed, "Sons, with your current skills, if you want to play professional esports, you still need 999 villas, 888 high-end sports cars, 777 a pair of out-of-print running shoes." End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The max level boss is too cruel. Author, Fire Otter. Chapter 39. Chapter 39. Brother Chenzi is coming back. After typing this string of words, Feng Ling turned off her phone and computer. The nanny would also be tired. When she was tired, she didn't want to hear her sons whining and screaming. Feng Ling was playing games leisurely in the room and made a huge sum of money. She didn't know that the wind direction outside had been completely messed up. After Feng Ling withdrew his capital with a wave of his hand, Su's stock market plummeted overnight, to the point where even his own father could not support him. Many people who were originally planning to cooperate with Su ran away. It's a joke, even if they don't know that Su's midbrain is Feng Ling. Given the situation in the stock market, why don't they run away and send money there? By this time, Su Ming was no longer in a hurry. The second elder of the Su family, Tian Hui and Feng Shuang were dumbfounded. Feng Ling returns these 50% shares to them. Shouldn't the stock market rise? Why did it fall like this? Su Group is not a big group to begin with and has no ability to withstand pressure. If it falls like this, it may go bankrupt in less than a day. Feng Shuang's face turned pale, and she always felt that something was happening out of control. And she was in the center of this whirlpool. Su Ming, what on earth is going on? Did you give something to the murderer? Tian Hui simply didn't believe that the departure of Feng Ling, a little girl who didn't understand anything, would have such a big impact. Unless Su Ming got mad and gave the little murderer something. I didn't give anything, Lingling just took away what belonged to her. Su Ming was smoking, his whole body filled with smoke. He recalled the previous phone call, which was brought to him by the deputy manager of the company that Feng Ying had asked him to make when he withdrew his capital. "Uncle, if you still want to start a business and cooperate in the future, in your own name, Feng Ling's definition cannot be ignored. That child has never been an ungrateful person. On the contrary, it was his Su family that failed her. She was the benefactor of their Su family, but now she is acting out a ridiculous scene of a farmer and a snake. That's all, this group of people can't see the good thing about that girl. Sooner or later, they will regret it. If the Su group doesn't have that girl, it's okay not to want it." Su Ming put out the cigarette and turned to leave. Tian Hui shouted from behind, "What are you doing? You want to take care of my daughter when she goes to see her. Su Ming's tone was cold, colder than ever before. Feng Shuang only dared to step forward after Su Ming left, patted Tian Hui's back gently and said comfortingly, "Auntie, don't be angry. Uncle must be angry that my sister took something she shouldn't have, and is too embarrassed to say it, so she taking it out on you. We have to be considerate of my uncle, after all, my sister." Humph. I told you earlier that this Feng Ying is a disaster. He just didn't listen. He even treated her as his own daughter. It's better now, he was bitten. Tian Hui felt distressed when she thought about the money that went out of the Su family that night. The Su family is not a big family. They lost tens of millions at once. Who can afford it? Feng Shuang pursed her lips and said softly, "Auntie, I heard that brother Chenzi is coming back." "Zhang Chenzi? Zhang family?" Tian Hui's eyes lit up. "You mean?" "Auntie, I have been unwilling to marry brother Chenzi before because the person who is engaged to brother Chenzi is my sister, and I don't want to get involved. But now my sister has done this kind of thing, and brother Chenzi cares about me, so I thought, or I can get engaged to brother Chenzi on behalf of my sister. With the help of the Zhang family, the Su family will definitely get through the difficulties." Feng Shuang said thoughtfully. As if he was the one who was wronged and dedicated himself to the Su family. End of this chapter. The max level boss is too cruel. Author, Fire Otter. Chapter 40. Chapter 40. Why don't you stop taking the medicine next month? Tian Hui was moved and held Feng Shuang's hand and said several times, "Good boy." Fu Su returned to school. Early in the morning, Class 9, Grade 3, was crowded with people, all coming to see Fu Su. This also included Feng Shuang. She was holding a medicine box in her hand. She had tried her best to find someone to bring it to her from a particularly famous doctor in Luo City. Has been going on for many years. "Fu Su, I brought you some medicine. You never came to school before, so I couldn't give it to you. So I prepared some more this time and ask me for it after you finish eating." Feng Shuang placed the medicine carefully wrapped in wrapping paper in front of Fu Su, her eyes shining with tenderness. "It's just that the boy across from me obviously didn't have much patience. This medicine doesn't work for me, you don't have to buy it anymore. The medicine given to him by his little ancestor is only effective. The medicine prescribed by the doctors outside can only treat minor ailments. It has no effect at all on his disease. On the contrary, it has side effects." Feng Shuang didn't know Fu Su's inner thoughts, so she nodded with a smile, "Okay, I understand, take your medicine well." Fu Su said nothing, only thinking, is this woman stupid? He has been saying for 3 whole years that she does not need to send medicine, but have his words turned a deaf ear? Fu Su picked up the medicine box and was about to send it back to Feng Shuang when he saw a familiar figure. Suddenly, Fu Su felt bad. Isn't this the little ancestor? Why did she come here? Monday was originally Black Monday. Senior high school students had to arrive at school at 6:45 every morning, which meant that Feng Ling had to get up at 6 o'clock every day. For a bedridden level 10 patient, this is simply like being in jail. No, it's 10 times harder than going to jail. When I was in prison, I never got up so early. So Feng Ling is usually not in a good mood in the morning. Even Yelamo was too sensible to talk to her too much. Especially after seeing Fu Su's face, Feng Ling's mood became even worse. She raised her school bag with one hand and threw it on the seat, then sat down aggressively. Fu Su was sitting at the table next to her, and his aura was suppressed by Feng Ling. Gudong, Fu Su heard the sound of himself swallowing saliva. Yelamo turned her head and looked at the current boss and the former boss. Suddenly she felt that the former boss seemed a little afraid of the current boss. Yelamo shook her head. It must be an illusion. She and saw Feng Ling coming and introduced Fu Su enthusiastically. Sister Ling, let me introduce to you. This is my boss, Fu Su. Boss, this is Feng Ling, and he is also very powerful. Hello, Feng Ling. Feng Ling squinted her eyes, half smiling. Fu Su felt that the smile muscles on his face were trembling. Fu Su, nice to meet you. I heard that you are not in good health. Fu Su. Calling in sick often. Fu Su. Too sick to get out of bed. Fu Su. Little ancestor, please listen to my explanation. Hey, I accepted someone else's medicine box. Feng Ling looked at Feng Shuang's medicine box and turned her eyes away in disgust. It seems that the medicine I gave you is not effective, so why don't you stop it next month? Sister Ling, wrong, isn't it true that he was wrong? He shouldn't lie, tell the outside world that he can't afford to be ill and ruin the reputation of his young ancestor. He is totally wrong, he deserves to die, and he has no brains. But if the little ancestor's medicine wears off, he will be back to his original shape. Fu Su felt like crying but had no tears. Shuang, what's going on? Didn't your sister just get out of prison not long ago? How come she knows Fu Su? Have you known each other before? Li Yishan said in confusion. End of this chapter.